and welcome to #LiveToSpa. A way that properly encompasses who I am, because I feel like I change every single day. The characters, ordinary names that are just random names. Let me rather do research on like previous African queens and kings. Literature in South Africa. Do we have enough politics about South Africa itself? Because we talk about Hitler, we talk about people from overseas. It's chilled. Okay. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boiling girls, people massive, and welcome to #LiveToSpa. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring people that are charismatic, people that are excited, people that know their stuff, people who know themselves more than anybody else, who can inspire you with their words. But today I'm joined by Thamsanqa Nicholas Sinxezi.
Oh, Nicholas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. People always like react weirdly to that name. I sometimes get nervous to say the name Nicholas because I feel like, especially in like the African spiritual community, that they
Sure.
like are gonna reject that name because it's an English name.
Right.
But it is what it is, man. I had to accept it and just go with it. So yeah. So let's start from there. Where can they find you? You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter. On Instagram, my handle is Nicholas Sinxezi. On Twitter, my handle is also Nicholas Sinxezi. And yeah. Please follow him on those social media platforms, Instagram and Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Why not Facebook? Let's start from there.
Oh yeah, I also have Facebook. I just
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
people
I
are still on
thought so.
Facebook. I didn't know people are still on Facebook. Yeah, Facebook too by the same name. Facebook too by the same name.
But you're still active on Facebook. I don't know why you avoid Facebook.
Because I didn't know that it's like a social media platform where you can like promote what you do.
Sure.
I thought it's just a platform where you talk shit and do whatever.
But still, Twitter's still the same thing. Elon Musk, you know that, right?
True.
Maybe it's more attractive than Twitter and Facebook. I'm gonna say.
Probably, which is like kind of a classist thing, but like that's a conversation
Go
for
for the
another
next
day.
time.
That's a conversation for another day. I forgot to say what I'm about.
Yeah.
Okay, so I studied social sciences. I was studying social sciences for the past 3 years. That's kind of like my professional pedigree, I would say.
Sure.
And then I'm also an artist. I do music. I also write. I write films as well. I'm also a script writer. And yeah, all of the above. Creative, researcher, social scientist.
That's the question. One of the questions I'm gonna ask about
Okay.
your avatar, your what's this again? Your
My comic book.
Yes.
Comic book.
But I'll ask you that. Let's just
Okay.
please them to subscribe, like, tell your friends, family, tell them to share.
Subscribe, guys. Subscribe to this channel. It's a dope channel.
Yeah.
Youth, black consciousness in the young people. It's good to see. Subscribe to this channel, guys. Tell your friends. Switch on the notification bell so you
Like
can
it
get.
too. Comment if you like it.
Absolutely.
Too. Yeah, that's it.
Y'all best be watching this episode. It's gonna be a dope one.
Yeah. But before we start, guys, please, I'll write in the description below all our social media platforms and whatever you want from us. Can they get you from anywhere, slide in your DM, something like that, or no?
I mean, you can slide in my DMs, but slide in with respect, slide in with decorum, and yeah, we can have a dope chat.
Decorum, oh wow, big names. Please tell them what Decorum
Do you know
is.
who taught me that? Mrs. Rogers. Do you remember Mrs.
I
Rogers?
remember.
She's the one who taught me that name. Yeah, what did you ask?
Decorum, what does it mean?
It means like good manners, good conduct, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Conduct yourself in a good manner.
Yeah, don't come at me sideways.
Okay, guys. Before we start, guys, please follow the real estate agent Tebogo DBS. Please, he sells houses, buy houses, or rent out houses. Please follow. I'll write the description below if you want more information. Thank you very much. And yes, let's start, bruh. Can I start from who you are first? Let's start from there. People must know you for who you are. Because it's a hard question. I know it's the hardest.
Yeah, it is. It
Because
is.
even when they ask in Miss South Africa and all these
Yeah.
contests, they ask who you are. But now
Yeah.
I'm asking in the sense of people must know you who you are. And
Yeah.
what are you standing for?
Okay. If I would answer the question, who am I would say that I'm an interdimensional person.
Sure.
I would say that I am a multifaceted person.
Sure.
I would say that I'm a person who cannot really be defined or described in a way that properly encompasses who I am.
Sure.
Because I feel like I change every single day. So I could answer that question and be like, okay, I am this person. and in 2 weeks I could feel like now I'm like a different type of person. So to properly answer that question, I would say that I am a manifestation of the all-being creator, which is God, in living form. Yeah, that's who I am.
Hey guys. So let's start from there, ne? So from who you are, ne, and how we perceive you, it's not two the same things, understand? So understand. Maybe we might think we know you, especially me. I might think I know you, but coming to that, saying that you change every day. Are you changing to are you changing because you're unsure, or are you changing because you're trying to improve yourself?
That's a very good question. I think I am changing because I'm trying to improve myself. I think I realized, I was actually having this conversation with my friend, but I realized how sometimes we don't notice our flaws. And when you don't notice your flaws, you kind of are in a position where you're unable to become the best version of yourself.
True.
So that's why I think I am somebody who has dedicated myself to being somebody who's constantly changing, because it's a choice.
Sure.
It's a choice to constantly change. Some people do stay the same, and as a result, they don't grow and they don't expand and they don't uncover the other things that life is about. So that's why I think I'm constantly changing to become a better version of myself, so that I can treat other people better, so that I can treat the world better, so that I can treat nature better, and I can represent God in a way that makes God proud of creating me.
Obviously. Wow, that's powerful. Eh? Getting a better of yourself, trying to figure out yourself day in, day out, each and every day. You might not figure it out, like you might think you figured it out. I change your food, you have not figured it out again.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Tell me, man. You're doing avatars, right?
I'm doing
avatars, cartoons. Remember,
but
avatar
I
is
don't illustrate though. But yeah.
illustrate like how you don't give examples out there.
I don't. I'm not the one who drew the avatar and whatever. That's like somebody who's professional.
I'm happy. What's your character?
My character is Umzila, which is player number 6, and he's the youngest player on the team. Very shy, but he's also actually kind of the main character. He's the team that scores the most goals.
Sure.
So what we did, because I'm also a researcher on the project, so I'm kind of responsible for compiling research in order to contribute to the script.
True.
So the idea that I had was, okay, so we had to name the characters, right? And I was like, instead of just giving the characters ordinary names that are just random names, let me rather do research on previous African queens and kings of pre-colonial South Africa who played a big role in our history today, and then we can name each of the characters based off of those people. So my character's name is Umzila, who is the son of King Soshangane, who was the founder of the empire in Southeast Africa, which I think was the kingdom of either Gaza or something like that. It's in the same line as Great Zimbabwe and Mapungubwe. Okay. Those people.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
But now I got a question. When it comes to the African thing, we'll go back to your question of characters. Okay. But now you trigger me.
Yeah.
Do we have enough in our literature in South Africa? Do we have enough politics about South Africa itself? Because we talk about Hitler, we talk about people from overseas.
I'm so irritated that in English in high school that we were doing Macbeth and we were doing all of those things, because I'm like, why are we studying these people that actually don't have any effect
in Africa?
In Africa, Shaka, we could have literally studied Shaka's life in English. I don't know why.
The problem is I'm complaining about is that that's why I brought you, because I want us to debate about the thing of saying, why is South African indoctrinated the things of overseas, a Western side, not just a Western side, but we're never talking about the two people who have fought in our leaders, who have fought in the struggle, who have fought this, and as the Black conscious, Nelson Mandela, what he has encountered and the mistakes he has done, and they'll tell us about what the bad things he has done, not Mandela, but other leaders. And exactly, there's still a short clip. He's done 1 2 3. He's done 1 2, but never talked about that. He never used shooting weapons, like machinery weapons. He used weapons of African weapons and beated the people who were using 21st century things. You understand?
Who were using guns and
understand?
Beat them without using guns.
That's the thing. I'm like,
But also, everybody did that.
Exactly.
It wasn't just Shaka.
True.
Xhosa kings and queens did that as
Sure.
well. Bedi kings and queens did that as well. Sutu kings and queens did that as well. Nama kings and Nama people did that. Kwe people did that. Twa people did that. Like, all indigenous Africans have fought white people and won.
Can I quote Julius Malema? He said at some point that he said what again? He said at some point that our African I forgot, I don't remember it, but the thing is we fought, understand? And there's this thing. He said that they came in Cape Verde, I think it's Cape Town,
the Cape Colony.
Yes, exactly. But now they took, he said, not because we were scared of you, it's because you took advantage of Ubuntu.
Absolutely.
He said that remember you were saying the lawyer is so useless and all this stuff. Remember that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he said that Ubuntu, understand? He said that Ubuntu, you take advantage of Ubuntu, our Ubuntu. We don't have the hatred. If we don't know you,
we welcome them.
We welcome you.
We welcome them with open arms.
But on to find out you guys have hatred and have this thing of separating people, understand? And you indoctrinated that in our children and all this stuff.
True.
So I'm like, it makes sense. True. Not because we accepted them saying that, because if we, like for example, if an alien came, we would have ran away. That's the first thing. But because we saw that they're humans, but they're different than us. So we said that let's just show them love.
Absolutely.
Care. Let's have love.
Gave them land. You know, Shaka gave them land.
Exactly.
Shaka gave them land and gave them cattle. Like, he gave them a start-up in order to settle in South Africa.
Sure.
So they say, according to research, academic articles. That's what they say. I sometimes don't know if to
like in
believe it
history,
or not.
they tell us about us black people that we are bad and all stuff. And now to be honest, you understand? You understand?
Information.
You
famous all the time, man.
But when we talk about it, they close us. They put us aside. They sideline us. Even our own black people sideline us. So that's why I'm saying it triggers me and saying that, and like it triggers me saying that, are we that bad?
Yeah.
Understand? Are we that useless? No offense, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Are we that useless? Understand? I was like, I didn't debate about this with my friend, but in my mind I debated about. He said to her, without the white, call it Western side. Let me just not specify race. Western side coming to Africa, we would have not have everything. I said
That's a lie.
Exactly. I was like to myself,
That's a lie.
If let me tell you something. We had a system too.
Yeah.
That worked for us.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
If ever we were not, the Western time never came. We're not saying we're not appreciating the efforts. I'm saying that I'm not saying we're separating. We need white people too. I'm not saying that. I'm saying
I don't think we do, but continue.
Exactly. But at the same time, I'm saying we appreciate the efforts. Understand? Like, I don't want to take away the people. Like white people are doing so much for the black people who love us too. Understand? Exactly. Understand? I don't take it away. The thing is, I'm saying I don't want the young people and saying that we don't know what to do. We are doing great things. People were going through depression because of we underestimate ourselves, underrate ourselves, and undermine ourselves. You understand? Because we can do great things in the continent, in African continent, and we can fight for better lives. We can fight for. You understand? Like we can do. Remember, this house you're seeing was built mostly by black people. So you're telling me that we cannot do anything. We're so skilled. You understand? Skill is not talent. It's something to overdo every time. It's something we are taught by our own people, our past descendants. You understand? So I don't know how do you think about that. Please tell me more about it because you have done research. Tell me, like, are we that useless or not? Let's start from there because I know that we're not. But I want you to tell me because you have done research about it. I have not done research. It's just based on my studies, my own study and own doctrine.
Yeah.
Understand? So my own research. Understand?
Yeah.
So tell me about it.
We are not useless at all. We actually are the most creative people on this side of the universe.
Sure.
There's these African people that they call the Moors.
Sure.
And they're black people like you and me. These Moors went to Spain and they found white people in a very primitive state.
Sure.
White people could not speak. They could not walk properly.
Sure.
They used to walk. This is literally, I'm not making it up.
It's history, yes.
It's history.
Yes.
White people were the uncivilized people.
Sure.
And black people civilized white people.
Sure.
Everything that white people know today, black people taught them. There is nothing that a white person has created that a black person did not create before him. They steal, they lie, they destroy. That is what they do.
There's a scripture say so, and I won't say the word.
Yeah,
I won't say the word.
Let's not go there.
Let's not go there.
We're not useless. Like I said, we created everything that white people have reintroduced to us today. They just take everything that we already did, they repackage it, and then they give it to us. I think where we went wrong is that we turned our back on our ancestors, and we turned our back on our African belief systems, and we traded it in for the white man's religion and the white man's belief system. And on that very moment was when we became disempowered and when we actually became useless. That was when that happened.
And since from then, we never bounced back from
And since from then, we've never bounced back from then. I think we're doing our best now, though. I think I have a lot of faith in our generation. I think our generation is going to turn things around, provided that we recognize our ancestors and we reconcile with our ancestors and we go back to our roots. Our ancestors are waiting for us. I'm telling you, they're waiting for us by the corner.
Sure.
They're waiting for us by the corner to come back and reconcile with them, and they'll give us the memo and we'll be fine. We'll be absolutely fine. The only thing we have to do, though, is start having a singular consciousness as Africans.
But remember, let's mind you guys, the Bible didn't start in the Western side. Everything started in Africa.
Everything did start in Africa. What's sad about the Bible is that they used our own work and our own beliefs against us.
Okay.
The Bible is written about us. All of those stories in the Bible, they're written about you and me.
Exactly.
They take it and then they reintroduce. Obviously, they change some things and put some things in there and manipulate some things in there because they know us. They know we were the original religious people. So they're like, oh, fine. So these people are religious. Let's take their religion, rewrite it in a way that benefits our agenda, and then give it back to them. And that's what they did.
Because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, let's not denounce that.
Yeah.
We are the most religious people ever in the planet. That's how I believe. That's how I believe. And on top of that,
spiritual, I think, okay, even though you're right, we are today one of the most religious races because of what Christianity did. But before that, we were the most spiritual. We were the most spiritual ones, and they took that and as religion, and then we
spiritually.
Exactly.
You have to it's a life of pie, spiritual sense. You have to find a spiritual center. Okay, I get you. But
spirituality comes from religion comes from spirituality. That's where it was created, but it is shorter when it's in a religious format. It's not the whole picture. That's why it's not going to work out for us.
End of the day, remember this. We have everything. They can't sanction us. That's one thing you don't know about it. If they sanction us by making us turn against each other, not because of they can sanction us just like Russia. They can sanction Russia alone without turning anybody against them. And it's like China turning against Russia. They won't do that. They want us to turn against each other. You know why? Because if we work as one, as Muhammad Gaddafi said, if we work as one, we'll be power. They knew that, and they make sure they
make us fight each other.
They've
been doing it since day one. They've been doing it since day one. They did it in South Africa. South Africa is not tribalistic. You know how tribalistic we are as a country?
Sure.
And we hate other tribes, and we compare tribes. Oh, these ones are like this, these ones are like that.
Sure.
That is something that was created by white people. Segregation, and making us have these false beliefs of other tribes and other clans and other people. We didn't even identify by tribes. Shaka Zulu's kingdom was not just the Zulu kingdom. It had people from other tribes and other clans together as one. We think it was this monolithic, only Zulu people were in that place. No, it was all of us. It was each and everybody, San people, Kwe people, Nama people, Xhosa people,
Sotho people.
Absolutely.
Because Lesotho was included by the Sotho.
Absolutely.
I get you.
Absolutely. So they definitely do divide and conquer us. It's the oldest trick in the book. They did it in the 1800s. They continue to do it today. I don't know. How do you feel about Tatalax? Can I ask you that question? How do you feel about him?
To be honest, like literally speaking, like he should be focusing on getting drugs first before he's gonna go to people first. The thing is, how many people have false passports? Let's start from there. How many people who had true passport but they're doing bad things in Africa? Not Africa, South Africa, I mean, say. Understand? Even when you take it, like let's say you throw away those like people who don't have the passports or who came in the country illegally, right? What's the use of how we're creating the country? Why don't we accept them and help them and take the take the wrong people out of Africa? Understand? Thing is, you cannot say these people are wrong, but they're selling us these shoes and selling us these things. Cheap streets, we get it away from the streets. Poverty snake, where we get it from the streets, from the same people. Do you think a black person in South Africa want to sell from the streets? Let's start from there. I'm not saying not all of them. I'm saying most of the people you see on the streets. You have to check their background. They'll tell you they're Zimbabweans, they're Changanis, they're Congolese. You understand? But you don't talk. Lax doesn't talk about Pakistan's. Lax doesn't talk about what's this Indian people. Doesn't talk about Chinese people. Doesn't talk about China. You understand? You understand?
The original immigrants, white people.
He doesn't talk about those type of
talk
things.
about them
because they have money, they can protect themselves, they have power. You don't even check are they illegal or legal. They come to South Africa. You even see women are disappearing, and you have been talking about it. You don't talk about like our what's this thing? People are being stolen. Young people being raped. You understand? And you say and the only based on it's black people only. I'm not saying that black people don't do wrong. I'm saying that you look at one race, and which is black, no offense, which is African, understand? And they don't look at the type of people. Let me just say white, Pakistans, and all other religions that come outside of Africa. They'll only look at black people because they want, as you say, they orchestrate saying that if black and black fight against each other, they're gonna destroy each other. Understand? But if white and black,
you've just literally quoted something that I read in an article, word to word. If natives fight each other, they're going to destroy each other. I'm telling you, that white man said it exactly the way you just said it. But if a white person
fights a black person, let me tell you something, a white person will always win. Trust me on that one. Why do I say that? Because white people don't know how we have fighting spirit. Just for example, remember America went to Afghanistan. It took them a while to destroy Afghanistan. It took actually the Afghanistan themselves to help the American to win the war. It took them, it's literally, they couldn't fight in the desert. They even used their airplanes, but they couldn't win. But they used their own Afghanistan people. If you can look in religion and not in the history of the Americans, they took the Afghanistan people to help them. The ones who were captured to help them, even though they were captured, the ones who are like outcasts, the rebellious ones. You understand? To be against their own people. You understand? So sometimes say to you guys, that we have lost the values of African people. We've lost the integrity of Africa. You understand? We are not. Africa is not a continent. It's one country. That's what I believe. Understand? That's how we should unite each other. I'm not saying that we don't have problems against each other. I'm saying that let's be united with each other. Let's not have problems with each other.
That means that we're gonna lose our individuality. I think people think that when we say we want Africa to be one country, that we're saying we want everybody to be the same in Africa, and that there's no room for differences and there's no room for individual identities. But there is one thing that will always connect us, which is that we're African.
Exactly.
And we all are made by the same creator. You know? So yeah, so like as soon as we remember that and know that like this is our brothers and sisters, it's tough because Zimbabweans are actually our brothers and sisters. There's that imaginary line that we think really divides us doesn't exist. Our languages are very much the same. We have Nguni people of South Africa who in the 1900s and 1800s fled to Zimbabwe, fled to Zambia
because of apartheid era.
Because of the apartheid era and because of white supremacy and because of all of those things, fled to Tanzania. So how can we say that these people that we today think that are not related to us are really different from us if we as South African have fled to those same countries when we were in trouble? Now when they're in trouble, people always flee when they're in trouble. I wish sometimes South Africans would think, Why do you think that these people are here? Because there's trouble in their countries, so they're gonna flee. We've always done that.
Sure.
Even when we lived on the land, if the land became infertile, we bounced.
Yeah.
We bounced. There was nobody to tell us, you makwere-kweres, get out of our country. No. We welcomed each other. So we really have lost African values. You're correct.
Anyway, we have to cut the video, bruh. And we'll come again. But truly speaking, what's your advice to all the African people out there, South African?
Wow. Know who you are. Do your research. Once you know who you are, you know where you're going. For as long as we live in this, there's Steve Biko talks about black consciousness, but he also talks about double consciousness, which is the idea that as a black person, you kind of have to be split into, which is who you naturally are as an African person and who you are forced to become in order to prosper in the society that we live in. Once we can close the gap between those two personalities of who we are and who we're forced to become in this society to prosper and become who we naturally are, we'll be great. And that's all I can say.
You heard it from himself, guys. Thank you very much, guys. Once again, thanks for coming, bro. Thank you for me coming to you. Yeah, thanks for being part of my show, bro.
I really appreciate it. We've been wanting to do this for such a long time. I'm honored that we finally did this.
I'm really grateful, actually.
Yeah,
happy, bro. Till I meet again, bro. And good luck to us. That is again, good luck on your cartoon.
Thank you.
And everything you're doing. I mean, you're inspiring me actually. And like, please send me your things every time. Like, please send me. Like, I'll post it every time if I get the opportunity.
I'll send you a link to my song.
Oh,
it's coming out soon.
Thanks, bro. Thanks. But please follow us on our social media platforms. Yeah, what's your social media platform?
Nicholas Sinxezi everywhere. Yeah.
Twitter, Instagram,
and Facebook. Don't leave Facebook out.
What about I saw you no YouTube, right? You have it?
I do have YouTube, but like I've neglected that thing so badly.
Why?
Because like I didn't know what content to like do. You know, there were so many options for me to do that I was like, oh my god, what content do I do? But I'll get back into it. I'll let everybody know.
So, please tell me,
Nicholas Sinxezi. Please subscribe on my channel as well.
And like too, guys.
Thank you.
And please subscribe, like, video notification bell. Come on, support each other. Let's help each other to grow and become better people, actually, nah? Yeah, bro. Thank you very much for telling me about the religion. Thank you for telling me about spirituality, right?
Yeah, spirituality.
Coming to the black consciousness and African people coming together. You understand? So yeah, bro. Thank you very much, guys. We'll catch you again, guys. Thank you, bro. Again. It's a sharp, bro.